What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sector for Nerds, and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars: The Clone Wars Retro Discussions. Today we're here to talk about the Lost Missions Episode 4, Orders. This episode was directed by Kyle Dunleavy and written by Katie Lucas. The cookie for this episode: the popular belief isn't always the correct one. Before we begin, you guys, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to click that hype button. I'm realizing with this hype button thing, I think it's only for like a limited time, right? I think it's like the first 24 hours of your video being up. So if you see the video in that time frame, please click that hype button. And also make sure to check out the new podcast that I've got over here on the Sector for Nerds channel with my friend DJ. The first episode that he and I did together, we broke down the movie Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Highly recommend you guys check that out. And without any further ado, intro guy, let the people know what's been going down in the last couple of episodes. Clone Crisis. After the mysterious death of his friend Top, ARC Trooper 5's embarked on an investigation which led to the discovery of a hidden chip, which is placed inside clone troopers when they are still embryos. The Kaminoan scientist Nala Se claims the chip is harmless and is meant to restrain the clones from violent, unpredictable action. Fives claims otherwise, and has convinced Jedi Master Shakti to allow him to plead his case directly to Supreme Chancellor Palpatine on Coruscant. Thank you, intro guy, and yeah, I'm sure that's going to work out really well for Fives. Alright, let's get into it. How did Shakti not think that Nala Se was going to do something to Fives? It's been so clear since day one of this that Nala Se has been trying to hide something, and Shakti, I think, knows it. But she's like, yeah, I'm just going to leave him alone with Fives, not a huge deal. But then it does turn out to be a huge deal, you see, because Nala Se drugs him with something. They go to meet Palpatine in that freaking place that they take Vader in Revenge of the Sith towards the end of the movie when they give him the suit and everything. I thought that was interesting. And Palpatine is wearing an attire that looks very Sith-like anyway. So then they have a chat about, the chips and stuff, right? Everybody pleads their case, and Palpatine goes, I think that Clone Trooper 5s and I should discuss this alone, without your presence. And, oh, don't worry, Master Jedi, it'll be all good. Look here, I've got my security team with me that are all clones that I can control at will. It's all gonna be okay. Man, I'm not gonna lie, they actually showed a little bit more than I thought they were gonna show in this scene. I figured they were gonna do something, but just when Palps walked up to him and was like, now, where were we? First of all, it gives you the implication, right, that Palpatine is in on whatever this plot is. So his hands aren't clean. And then minutes later, when he plays victim, right, oh, help me, the Jedi are taking over. Or in this case, the clones are taking over. And he's like, oh, the chip must have made him go mad. And then Shakti chases him out of the room. They show Palpatine handing off the chips to Nala Se.
You have done all you can, Doctor. I trust you will keep these safe.
Of course, Chancellor.
When I talk about that, I mean from the perspective of okay, if you're walking into this show without knowing who Palpatine is, at what point, if any, do people figure it out? And I feel like this was a really big indicator of hey, this guy here that's leading the Republic, this guy's got dirty hands here. Man, I hate what they did with Shakti in this episode. I hate it. To be honest, I've realized that I actually don't like what they've done with Shakti throughout this entire show, because the majority of the time she just stands around and does nothing, and she's just on Camino every day. At least there was a little bit of smartness shown on her end from the last couple of episodes of all right, she knows something's up with Nala Se. And then the minute that she's asked to leave the room, very suspiciously, it's well, wait a second, something might be going on. No, it's fine. No, Fives is the one at fault here. And they just make her look like an idiot. They wouldn't do that to Plo Koon now, would they? No, we're going to do it to Shakti, though. And then what was made even more suspicious, right, is when the Jedi are talking about this, and they're like, yeah, our assistance hasn't been asked for by the Supreme Chancellor in this investigation to find Fives. Once again, nobody's finding this suspicious. I mean, to be fair, I guess they did say that they would launch their own investigation quietly and try to bring Fives back to the temple. But poor Fives, man, he's locked up in this conspiracy. And now he realizes that, bro, this whole thing goes to the very top. The highest levels of people in power are involved in this thing. I love when he goes into the cab driver's car and he has him take him to the clone bar. Man, have you heard the stories, man? The plot, and he's trying to go through all this stuff, and the driver's just yeah, man, I'm a cab driver. I get crazy stories like that all the time. That was a good bit. And so they go to this clone bar. That's crazy, actually, that they have this entire bar that's catered for the clones. And Fives notices that Jesse and Kix are there. And so Kix walks into the bathroom. Fives follows suit. He's like, all right, I need to speak with General Skywalker and Captain Rex. Like, I need to talk to them without any troopers, whatever. If they take me to the Chancellor, whatever, they're going to kill me. So shout out to Kix, man. Like, he pulled through. He gave Anakin and Rex the coordinates for Fives. Unfortunately, though, there was a probe droid that followed Fives to his location. So that's how Commander Fox and all them catch up with him. So then it's like when Anakin and Rex do confront him, it's this moment of like, okay, well, what's going to happen here? And then Fives unleashes a ray shield down on the two of them. So it's like, all right, well, now you're not really helping your case because why are you trying to trap people that you're trying to talk to? But it's like Fives has gone insane at this point. It was something with that drug that Nalase gave him to just make him seem crazy.
The evidence is in here. It's in here. It's in all of us. Every clone. What is it? Organic chips built into our genetic code to make us do whatever someone wants.
And Rex is trying to explain, like, look, Fives, we are listening to you. We only want to help you. And he's like, bro, the Chancellor's going to try to kill me right now because he's in on it.
The Chancellor would try to kill me. I promise you that.
The Chancellor?
He's in on it. I don't know to what extent, but I know he orchestrated much of this. He told me in the medical bay.
And Anakin's like, wait a second, he told you. Like, when you tried to assassinate him, he's like, man, you go too far now, Fives. The Chancellor is incapable of what you claim. And Fives is like, bro, he is. I swear to you, General, you have no idea. And it's like, before he can say anything else, in comes the Coruscant Guard in with Commander Fox. I think that's who that was, right? If only Anakin wasn't so blinded by his loyalty to the Chancellor, like maybe he would have actually listened. And unfortunately, in this moment, Fives ends up dying. Well, I haven't been too fond of this arc, so it's definitely a sad moment. I hate to see my boy Fives go. He's a 501st guy. He's a Domino Squad guy, so that makes him an OG in my eyes. And as of now, like this is the last domino we have left at this point. And I remember at the time, it's like, man, the last domino has fallen. And I remember, like, with Ahsoka and her walking away from the Order. Like, I remember I said, like, okay, I don't know if I was necessarily, like, crying first time watching it, but I definitely was, like, emotional, and my eyes were definitely watery. This scene, when I watched it for the first time, I was, like, just straight up crying. And I think a lot of what got me, too, was Kevin Kiner's music. It was the same theme that they used for when Evan Peele died in season 3. And once I heard that theme, and I already know where they're going with this, like, I know what's about to happen.
I only wanted to do my duty, the mission. The nightmares. They're finally over.
And Rex is sat there like, no, Fives, come on, stay with me, Fives. And he ends up dying, and all the clones, like, gather around him. Anakin kneels down with his hand on Rex's shoulder. Very, very tragic scene. One of the most tragic in the whole show. So then the Jedi have a chat with the Chancellor about Fives' death, and Palpatine tells them, you know, it appears as though, you know, I did a little investigation on my own end with my own doctors, and it appears that Nalase did miss something in her investigation. And I'm like, okay, Palpatine, which way are you going to spin this? And he goes, it was a parasite native to Ringo Vinda. Probably something in the drinking water that they both shared. It dissolved the chip or whatever, made it disintegrate. I was like, man, you gotta be kidding me. I can understand it from the perspective of, like, maybe the Jedi don't have any reason to doubt the Chancellor. Here's the other question that I have, though. How long has Palpatine been in office at this point? Like, well over a decade, right? Do we know how long a term is for being a Chancellor of the Republic? Is it the same? Is it like a 4-year term? Is it a 5-year term? Or are there extension options to make him serve another term? Because it's like, I feel like we're so close to Revenge of the Sith at this point. And what's the thing that Obi-Wan tells Anakin in that movie, right? Like, the Chancellor has managed to stay in office long after his term has expired. If that wasn't the case here, then okay, maybe I'd understand why they have no reason to doubt him. But because this man has been Chancellor for so long, how is no one finding this suspicious? How is nobody finding Nalase's behavior suspicious? And I can, again, there are certain things I can excuse here that, like, okay, fine, whatever. We can look past some things. There is something that's going to happen later in this season that there is no covering up. There is no reason why the Jedi were that dumb. It's like when you put this and another thing together, how do you not figure it out? Oh, but wait, why are they cutting to Sereno? Oh, they're going to show us Dooku, I think, probably, right? Wait, Tyrannus. Why are they talking about Tyrannus here? What? Oh, Tyrannus is in Dooku's chair. What's this? He's taking off the hood. Oh my gosh, Dooku's Tyrannus? I had no idea. Wow, what a reveal. Did anyone not think that it was that? Did anyone not put this together? Come on, this was more obvious than this is the most obvious thing in any of the episodes. I didn't even. It literally took me until the last time that I think I watched this arc where I was like, wait, this was meant to be a reveal. That's why they had him in the chair with the hood. They thought this was some big reveal. I don't think this moment is what they think it is. Whatever. That shot of Dooku with the inhibitor chips will live in my head rent-free every time I watch this arc. It's just Fives does all that work to try and uncover this plot that's being done against the Jedi, right? And it's he's worked so hard to try and get it out there just for all of the evidence to end up in the hands of Dooku. It just makes me feel so bad for Fives. And then Dooku contacts Sidious and he goes, "Our plan has gone undiscovered, Master. The clone in questioning is dead, and the Jedi suspect nothing." Freaking crazy. And Palpatine tells him, "Good, when the time comes, we will indeed execute Order 66. Wahahaha, I said the line. Yeah, that's the Fives arc, y'all. And I just remember, at the time, too, just thinking, man, all that for nothing. One of the things that I definitely criticize, especially about this episode as well, it's basically the same type of story that we got last season. With Ahsoka. Literally, the last arc we talked about was her being on the run. What's this here? Fives being on the run, trying to get evidence, trying to prove that he's innocent. The only difference is Ahsoka, in a way, I guess, kind of succeeded through some help, whereas here, Fives completely failed. Though, maybe it wasn't all a failure, as we'll end up seeing in Season 7. And I think it makes sense, considering that Rex and Fives, of how close they were, that Rex might have taken some things that Fives said to heart. Yeah, man, I'm not as keen on this arc as a lot of other people seem to be. It's all right. Okay, well, we got through that arc, you guys. Okay, let's see what we've got next on the radar. We got... No. Next week, you guys, we are going to talk about the Lost Missions, Episode 5, An Old Friend. You know what? If I'm going to do this... If I'm going to start talking about freaking Clovis for 3 episodes in a row, I think I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need to call on an old friend of my own. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.
Que paskudna bestioli.
It seems your mission was a success, Bounty Hunter. From this point, I will deal with them myself.